late game execution.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
So a couple of days ago, I got a new comment on a video I probably made 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, it might have been. And that video was about top 75 players. Top 75 players. As we all know, back in 2022, during the All-Star game, the NBA held a top 75 players ceremony in honor of the NBA's 75th anniversary. It actually was supposed to be held the year before, but due to certain situations in the world, that didn't happen. But as we all know, certain people that made the top 75, NBA's top 75 list, some people didn't, I thought, and maybe some others, some people didn't deserve to be in the top 75. Now, there was many newcomers in that top 75, as we all know. Newcomers are still playing now, like a Chris Paul, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and so on. Many others who have retired in the last 10 years have also made it, like a Kobe, Tim Duncan, KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. But there's a constant, maybe 2 or 3 that people tend to disagree with. One of them being James Harden. The other being, some people say, Anthony Davis. And the other one, no doubt, probably the lesser of the 3, Damian Lillard. Now, as we also know, Damian Lillard, since the top 75 selection, I think he played one more year with the Portland Trailblazers before he was traded to my Milwaukee Bucks, in which he did jack squat and towards Achilles, and now he's back to where he started at, along with Drew Holiday. And I said that I said this many times that Dame Lillard, especially Dame Lillard, out of James Harden, maybe Anthony Davis, did not deserve to be in the top 75. I said they could have picked anybody else other than Dame Lillard. They could have picked, some people say Kyrie Irving. Some people have said Klay Thompson in the past, Dwight Howard, Vince Carter, I guess. Some even say Tracy McGrady. Others have been Joe Dumars, which I haven't been advocating for, because they act like Joe Dumars was nothing. My dad even advocated for Sidney Moncrief, but maybe in the top 100 in 20-something years. Oh, sorry, but I also said Tony Parker should have been in it, and some probably 20-something year old young kid said, "Why do you think Tony Parker?" Sorry about that. I'm the bomb caller. Yeah, I thought Tony Parker should have been in before Damian Lillard. Like, did some of these kids just be? The way I was taught the history of the NBA and basketball is different from how these kids are taught now. I was taught, in order to be excellent in the NBA, to even be a Hall of Famer, to even be in a top 50 or top 75, you had to be great at crucial times, you know? Not one time, not the regular season, but all the time. Yes, Tony Parker was on those Spurs teams that had Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, David Robinson at one point in time. and eventually Kawhi Leonard later on. And I think Tony Parker played with LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he ended up playing with LaMarcus. Yeah, he had to play with LaMarcus Aldridge because LaMarcus Aldridge was on the Spurs same time. I think it was Tim Duncan's last year, I think. It was about to come up close to 10-year anniversary since Tim Duncan retired. Time was caught up. But yeah, he had to have been on a team with Tony Parker. But the thing about Tony Parker is he was a crucial part of the San Antonio Spurs. And most people on the top 75 played very crucial parts. Most, I said, not all, but most NBA players who was picked for the top 75 played very crucial parts and championship runs. I know not every top 75 player made it to the finals, one being Carmelo Anthony, or even winning the finals, going to the finals, but winning the finals, which would be people like James Harden and Westbrook and Elgin Baylor, people like that. But Tony Parker was very crucial. I think he won the MVP in 2007 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played crucial parts in most of their championships. He was almost the engine that moved the San Antonio Spurs in their younger years. Probably some even in the later years in that last championship. Now Tony Parker, as we all know, is I think he's a 5 or 6 time NBA All-Star. I gotta check my facts right quick. But compared to Dame Lillard, what has Dame Lillard done that was impactful for the league? Minus shooting deep logo threes. You know? Tony Parker's a 4-time NBA champion, Finals MVP, 6-time NBA All-Star, not 5-time, 3-time NBA second team, third team, 1-time rookie first team, and number retired with the San Antonio Spurs. And the rest of his achievements are all overseas. And Tony Parker is now, as of I think last year it might have been, part of the Basketball Hall of Fame 2023 class, NBA or Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Because he also did great things overseas as well. And you compare that to Dame Lillard's, if you want to go this route, compare this to Dame Lillard's accolades. 9-time All-Star, NBA All-Star MVP, NBA All-First Team. Now, at the time, the year 2022, Damian Lillard was not an All-Star actually that year. He became, at that time, he might have been a 7-time All-Star. He got his last 2 All-Stars with the Milwaukee Bucks, and maybe might be his last All-Star bids. And he got All-Star MVP with the Bucks too, so that wasn't even on there either. But also, he only made it to the first team once, 4 times on the second team, 2 times on the third team. He did get Rookie of the Year, also part of the rookie first team. He made 3-point contest, Cup champion as of last year, and of course 75th anniversary team. I do think Tony Parker is more accomplished overseas as well, and of course in the NBA. Now the only thing Damian Lillard probably has over Tony Parker, like I say, he has most All-Stars now, more All-Star bids now. Got it on the first team once, got Rookie of the Year, and 2-time NBA 3-point contest, which is all fine and dandy. NBA Cup champion, which, you know what, this whole, not to divulge from the original topic, this whole NBA Cup thing, right? I have a problem with the NBA Cup thing when it comes to comparing modern day players like now compared to the players of the past. And there's another thing I want to compare to this. So now they got this NBA Cup, right? And they also got this Larry Bird, Magic Johnson MVP for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and the Western Conference Finals MVP. Right? Those are three things that didn't exist 20-something years ago. And I feel like, and I know this is going to happen, that's going to be held against the players of the past. See, Adam Silver has messed this league up. Now you're giving participation points to these guys and awards that didn't exist 20, 30, 40 something years ago. And it's going to be held against the players of the past. Tony Parker was a winner. We reward winning. You know, you're supposed to reward winning, not bloated stats and accomplishments. That's why I believe Tony Parker should have been in the top 75. As being part of those being a crucial part of those San Antonio teams. He won 4, of course, but 4 of the 5 rings that the San Antonio Spurs have won. Yes, Tony Parker may not have shot the 3 ball that well, but he did what he was supposed to do. Distribute the ball and make big plays. And he did make big plays in crunch times. And even at one point in time, at least in the mid to late 2000s, he was probably considered a top 5 point guard. Dame probably was too. But Tony Parker was more true to the point guard role. Dame Lillard is just a chucker. Now, Tony Parker may not have been the best defender, but you know what? He tried. He had to try. He played Popovich's teams. You ain't gonna sit here and act like you don't play defense and think you can get away with it playing with Popovich, a younger Popovich. And I think this would be the first full season he won't be coaching too. This is really gonna be weird. But you had to play defense. You had to give it your all. And you can't sit up here and say well, I guess you could. But San Antonio is a small market team, just like the Portland Trailblazers are. Problem is, Trailblazers front management ever since the 90s, maybe late 90s, don't know what the hell they doing. When San Antonio, after Tim Duncan was drafted, knew what they was doing from the time Tim Duncan was drafted. Shoot, even before the time Tim Duncan was drafted. Probably even since David Robinson was drafted up until Tim Duncan, I can't even say when Tim Duncan retired. Probably up until at least 2019. The Spurs was always being a consistent playoff or even championship contender. Yes, Dame maybe never got a chance to play on there, but his style of play is not conducive to winning when Tony Parker's style of play was conducive to winning. And somebody might bring up, Tony Parker played on Charlotte. Well, that was an older Tony Parker. Playing on Charlotte Hornets team that was, still hasn't done anything. But yeah, if I had to pick the top 75, I would pick Tony Parker over Dame Lillard. That's just facts. Dame Lillard is not a winner. He'll never be a winner when it comes to the NBA history. He had a chance to be on a finals team, but he blew it. But then again, you can blame injuries on Giannis and him. But even when he was healthy and was playing, he didn't do enough. He just didn't do enough. They got worse with him. In hindsight now. Now, I think the team would have worked out. They would have found a way to keep Drew Holiday and have Dame Lillard and still have Chris Middleton and Giannis and all that. But it didn't work out that way, of course. So, Dame just has too many deficiencies in his game as well, as we all know. Like I said, the lack of defense, the lack of defensive prowess. Yeah, all that shooting is fine and all that stuff is amazing, but I'd rather take Tony Parker to be my point guard than Dame Lillard. Those are just the facts. No opinions at all. But I think, but then again, Dame, if he had to play in Popovich's system, he would have to play defense, or he'd be out of there. But I don't think, like I said, honestly, I don't think Dame's games conducive to winning. A lot of these guys' games is not conducive to winning. James Harden's game is not conducive to winning. I'm just saying. Kobe Bryant said it the best himself. A lot of these dudes aren't. They just are chuckers. Don't have the mindset for winning. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem in the NBA right now. The mindset for winning. It's just not there with these guys. Care more about stuff off the court. These guys don't want to get out the mud. They want to play on each other's teams. They want to jack up threes. They don't have the X and O mindset for the game like a Kobe Bryant, a Jordan, Magic, Larry Bird, and others had. That's the problem with today's NBA. But anyways, yeah, I would pick Tony Parker before Dame Lillard. I would pick Joe Dumars before Dame Lillard to be in the top 75. Winners!